Buried treasure detection system, a lot of folks don't realize they have hidden capital in their own backyard. Whether that's through home equity lines of credit or business lines of credit, how can we get access to that capital at a very cheap cost of funds and then deploy that capital? Maybe it's to pay off debt, maybe it's to acquire assets. So we're going to show you all these different tools to acquire capital. Hey gang, welcome to the Replace University podcast. As always, I'm your host, Michael Lush, and today I'm going to talk about our Bulletproof Financial Blueprint. We have a quarterly meeting. It's really an event. It's a virtual event where we really unveil everything that is Replace University. You know, from replace your mortgage to replace your dollar, replace your employer, replace your retirement, replace your mindset, and a lot of other things. We have special guest speakers that are coming. But I want to detail really what people can expect in this event and why we call it the one, Create Your Own Economy, but it's the Bulletproof Financial Blueprint. So the event is called Create Your Own Economy. If you want to register for it, we got one coming up really soon, actually next week. And it's createyourown.economy.live.com. Again, it's createyourown.economy.live.com, or you just click the link in the description below. So I want to talk about what we're covering over these 5 nights. And when I say a 5-day workshop, I don't want you to think that it's 5 full days. We're only asking you to commit 1 hour after work. We start at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time each night. We cover a topic for an hour in depth. We're not leaving anything behind. No trade secrets or anything that we don't uncover. And then we stay on for an additional hour to answer questions that you may have related to that topic. So one of the first things we talk about is the buried treasure detection system. Now, what is the buried treasure detection system? So the buried treasure detection system, a lot of folks don't realize they have hidden capital in their own backyard. Whether that's through home equity lines of credit or business lines of credit, how can we get access to that capital at a very cheap cost of funds and then deploy that capital? Maybe it's to pay off debt, maybe it's to acquire assets. So we're going to show you all these different tools to acquire capital that we, again, call the buried treasure detection system. So that's night 1. Night 2 is we're going to go over the replace your cash flow system. Everybody says this. This is no secret. Your cash flow is your greatest asset to building wealth. So what could we be doing with our cash flow? Currently in the banking system, we take our income and it immediately goes into the bank system. We're going to show you an alternative route. Where can it go where you can actually have the same dollar in 2 places at the same time? We call it mirroring, where $1 can be going towards debt and still staying liquid, minimizing the interest that you pay, but the same dollar could also be in a separate place, earning interest as well. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. It does happen, and we call it mirroring. So we need to replace that cash flow so we can wake up these sleeping dollars, give it a job so it can go produce more for us, whether it's reducing debt and also increasing or compounding interest for us. The third thing is the Debt Ninja system. There's a lot of debt tools out there that most folks just aren't aware of, the alternative debt structure. So instead of using traditional debt structures, let's use real estate, for example, a mortgage. A mortgage is not the only way to finance real estate. If you've been following us for any short period of time, you know that one of our breadwinners is Replace Your Mortgage. And we're huge fans of simple interest lines of credit, open-end lines of credit, where money can go in and come out freely, maintaining liquidity, but it also gives you the confidence to dump all of your money in there. And since you have the liquidity and you have every dollar in there instead of in a checking account that we call sleeping money, now it's being more active for you. It's doing something as opposed to just sitting around sleeping. The fourth one is the asset acquisition method. This is where now that we've got liquidity, we've got access to this capital at cheap cost of funds, how do we identify assets? And what are specific assets that produce cash flow? You know, the more traditional one is real estate investing. You could buy real estate with this, but we get into all kinds of other topics, you know, digital real estate and things that can actually give you a better return while still maintaining some tax deductions. So what are some assets out there that are safe? Safer than putting it in a bank where it's guaranteed to lose money. I did this video recently where if you put money in a bank account at 0.24%, which is the national average, however, you go out and take out a mortgage on that, or you've got let's just use the cost of inflation, the historical cost of inflation, not the inflation we're dealing with today, 3.3%. Well, what is that return? If you put money into an account at 0.24%, but it deteriorates at 3.3%, what is it actually doing? It's actually going backwards 1,375%. That's a guaranteed return, meaning you're guaranteed to lose money. Imagine talking to your financial planner and saying, hey, put me in this investment, and this investment is going to give me a guaranteed return of negative 1,375%. Financial planners like, no way. You would say no way. But that's what we're doing by operating in the bank system. So we need to find other assets where we're getting safe returns. And then the last one is the bulletproof financial system. All right, so now that we've created this, how can we encapsulate it? How can we protect it? Because if you're like me in 2008, you're in these qualified plans like 401ks and IRAs that are tax deferred. They're not tax free. They're only tax free going in, but when you pull it out, now you got to pay taxes on it. So what are ways that we could insulate all of these assets that we're acquiring so that the rug can't be pulled out from underneath you again like it was me in 2008? And that's what we're going to cover on the fifth night. We're going to get into business lines of credit. Believe it or not, business lines of credit right now are actually easier to acquire than home equity lines of credit. And I know it seems like, not logical, because like a home equity line of credit is a secured loan, so you would think that banks are lending more freely on home equity lines of credit, and they are, but not more so than business lines of credit. It's actually easy. Once you understand these tips, it's actually easier to get access to really cheap business lines of credit. A lot of them have 0% intro offers where it's 0% for 12 or 24 months, and then you can stack those and get another 0%. So you can get access to tens of thousands. We've had clients get access to hundreds of thousands. We do know of one client that did this 3 years ago, an engineer, obviously. So they reverse engineered this and really got detailed with it. Now they're at 1.4 million with an average cost of funds of just under 5%. It's like 4.9%. And they're using this business funding to acquire Airbnbs in college towns in Texas. So you could take this to the whole nother level if you wanted to. So we need to build these assets and we need to protect them. And that's what this event is going to do. So if you're interested, please go to createyourowneconomylive.com, or you can click the link in the description below. Love to see you there, teach everything that we know, and just impact your lives. Y'all take care. God bless.